I'm rating your favorite Pokemon because they say truly skilled trainers should win with their favorites. Greninja! This long-tongued frog will make even Lickitung jealous. I wonder what it's based on. With some origin in the original Jiraiya. No, not this one, you weeb. Greninja can slice through metal with hyper-compressed water via the use of stars and kunai. But that which sets apart this frog is Battle Bond! No bracelet, stone, or crystal makes this possible. Simply the bond between trainer and Pokemon transforms Greninja to the next level! In this form, both trainer and Pokemon share their senses and pain in the same places where they are hit. This bond phenomenon is incredibly exhausting and can cause both to pass out if not mastered. In my eyes, Greninja represents the true purpose of Pokemon, training with your favorite and forming a true bond. With that, they have my 100% approval. Appleton, the apple pie of everyone's eyes. This Pokemon is a play on words, as it is a worm that is also a worm. Hope that didn't confuse you. If Appleton isn't luring bugs, it can eat with a sweet scent. Its back is being used as a snack for children. I'm not even joking. The skin on its back is said to be delicious, and children used to eat it as a snack. Lechonk will do the same, but Appleton will spew sticky nectar to scare them away. In Gigantamax form, it takes its revenge, as it cannot only use its thicker nectar to absorb a hit, but will not hesitate to drown you in it. I'm biased as I love pie, and Appleton is a living dragon pie, so it gets my full approval. Delmise, no small fry for this nearly 13-foot anchor allowed. It only goes after the big boys, like Whale Lord. Based on a seaweed called Dead Man's Fingers, the captain from Dracula, and captain from Moby Richard. This Pokemon is terrifying. Its body is actually the seaweed itself, as it fused with debris from the ship and became reborn as a ghost. It will then swing the anchor, KOing a Whale Lord in one hit. It then wraps the seaweed all around the body and drains it of all life. By the way, that seaweed can extend over hundreds of yards, so you're never safe. Delmise gets along well with Squelp, and I hope we'd get along well too, as it has my approval. Dragapult, it's an Olm, it's an aircraft. No, it's Dragapult! This Pokemon, based off the extinct Diplocalus in the Northrop, is the embodiment of Yeet, as it fires its own kind like crossbow bolts. Oh, and don't worry, they love the right, according to the Pokédex. It spends a lot of time invisible, so not much is actually known about them, making them even more like the stealth aircraft. It's a 9-foot prehistoric ghost salamander aircraft that has one of the sickest and most unique special moves there ever was. What more could you ask for? It's perfect and one of my favorites too. Gardevoir, a favorite of many such as Alpharad, ruined by people everywhere. You know who you are. This Pokemon represents empathy with horns that are the physical manifestation of its heart. They got their fairy typing from their relation to guardian angels, as they are so protective of their trainers, they'll even risk their own lives, distorting space and creating black holes to fight with. Its Mega Evolution is a ballroom dancer, and with its horns opened up, its heart is now open and can use tremendous amounts of power. Even though my search history is now gonna be ruined by it, Gardevoir is honestly a really cool and innocent Pokemon I approve of. Houndoom, this heckhound sets fire to its competition. This Pokemon has fairly obvious origins relating to the Grim Reaper, Doberman, and the Tasmanian Wolf. They're a rough and tough bunch that hunts in packs and fights to determine the leader, and when angry, spew toxins in their flames. Speaking of, don't get burned by their flames, otherwise that burn will last forever, just like that insult back in high school about your mother and the toaster. When Mega Evolved, its claws and tail tip reach such high temperatures it is painful to itself. Also, those flames will now reduce you to ash. I feel bad for Houndoom and its Mega Evolution, because while it is terrifying, I'm sure it would be a loving, loyal companion with my approval. I just laughed. Unbreakable shield and unstoppable force that can recognize a worthy leader. While it has attended and served generations of kings, and it was rumored to have also drained the life of one and caused the fall of an entire kingdom. With the power of its shield form, it combines its steel body and spectral power to block any attack. And with its blade form, it uses its entire body to strike at you. Imagine your entire body being a weapon. Anime is all get out. Aegislash may be able to manipulate the minds of others and force them to build a kingdom, but I give it approval completely of my own willpower. Crocodile, crushing cars and seeing far, 30 miles even in sandstorms to be exact. This bully of the sands is a force to be reckoned with. This Pokemon is incredibly aggressive as well, even actively cooperating with Flygon as they make sandstorms that Crocodile can hunt in, as if it needed that help. The 4'11 Terror can also swim through sand as if it were water. Let's just remake Jaws, but on land while we're at it. The more I researched Crocodile, the more terrified I became of it, and honestly, it's even cooler than I initially thought. Litten, let's get the obvious joke out of the way. Now that you're satisfied, Litten is based on Macro Tabbies, also known as Tiger Cat. This little kitten, like any other cat, takes time to bond, but even once bonded, don't give it too much affection or you're gonna catch them paws. It also stirs up the fur from cleaning itself for use as fiery hairballs. Although terrifyingly enough, it'll also set its entire body on fire to burn away old fur. One fun detail is the markings on its face paired with its eyes form the alchemical symbol for sulfur, which is explosive! Litten gets my personal space-respecting approval. Noivern, a terror of the dark, but Babby in the light. Based off bats and wyverns, this Pokemon also has loudspeakers for ears. While they are typically violent, offering its favorite ripe fruits will tame this beast instantly. Noivern also uses ultrasonic waves to see in the dark and will torment anyone who can't. These same ultrasonic waves can crush boulders, and honestly, I can't even do that with all my efforts, so I'd rather it stay on its good side. I'm a bit biased as I think bats are adorable, and Noivern being a loud dragon bat is too cool to pass, so they have my approval. Quagsire, the only one in Pokemon Pokemon go other than Zubat, whose shadow form doesn't have red eyes, all because it's too dumb to be evil. While very protective of Whoopers, these Pokemon don't move often and just wait for unaware prey to just fall into their mouth. I'm going to stay still with my mouth wide open, so if you get eaten, it's your fault. They also like to play a game where they collectively fire an object as high as possible into the sky, with their final target being the moon. Quagsire, with their dopey face and calm demeanor, is easy to love, and I couldn't stop laughing when I found this info out. So they get an oversized smile of approval from me. Rayquaza, bow down as the Draconid did to the god of the ozone. Based on dragons, lindworms, Ziz, Quetzalcoatl, and so many other powerful creatures, it's no wonder that others of the weather trio fall in line. Living in the atmosphere, it survives like a dragon warrior, only consuming what to do. Well, unless you exclude the meteors it decides to eat. This thing doesn't care who you are, meteor or DNA monster, you mess with its turf and you're getting dusted if you threaten its home. To make it even better, with the power of its Mikado organ, it can just Mega Evolve without any other help once it has enough energy. It also doesn't hesitate to eat other Mega Stones as a snack, fitting that part of its name can be derived from the Japanese word for throne, because this king sits high upon it with my approval. Salazzle, welcome to the hashtag Girlboss of Pokemon. Pretty fitting because it is a poison type. Based on the Whiptail, Newt, and even a shape-shifting man-eating Mo of Hawaiian myth, this harem-having Pokemon has high standards. They control as many male Salanids as possible and don't get along with other females. Their strong pheromones control the minds of others and is used to make perfume. Yeah, that doesn't seem like a Doofenshmirtz plot at all. While I wouldn't want one as a Pokemon myself, I can approve of it nevertheless. Zorua, remember to say mushy mush on the phone so this tricky fox doesn't make you its next punchline. Being easily scared, they disguise themselves as other Pokemon using their illusions. Because of this, they are feared and attacked by people, so they will even disguise themselves as children. It's said if a talkative child suddenly stops talking, it may have been replaced by a Zorua. Luckily, no harm is done, and the Zorua is likely there to get some food. To top them off, if they aren't experienced, they still have their tail when transformed, which is adorable. Sylveon, hero of fairy tales. Sylveon is likely based on the moon rabbit, the companion to Change denoted by her ribbons, and even Kaltezuka, who is a Ukrainian goddess who turned into a rabbit. Sylveon lets out an aura from their ribbons to calm their foes, only to attack them once their guard is down. They fight brave against dragons, charging head-on, no matter how large they might be. A tale told in fairy tales. Sylveon holds a special place in my heart since having one named Vivi in my Arceus playthrough, so I give their ribbon-dancing self a perfect score. Blaziken, the kickin' chicken that can jump over a 30-story building. Time to rapid shot what is based on Horse, Rock, Karura, Tengu, Mutai, and chickens such as Shamokochin and the fire-breathing one called Basan. This fighter battles courageously. The stronger the foe, the greater its flames burn. This trait burns ever brighter, as when it Mega Evolves, it fights faster and with more power, so much so that the air itself begins to cause friction burns to Blaziken's body. How could I not like Blaziken? It gets my full approval, and may its fighting spirit blaze ever onward! Tortuga, the grandmother of all turtles reborn, thanks to the power of science! The deepest a human has ever dived is a little over 1,000 feet. Meanwhile, Tortuga can dive over half a mile. Do you know what that would do to your skull? And you must be thinking, oh, it's such a great diver, it must stay in the water. Well, you'd be wrong, because it will hunt prey on land. This Pokemon has some major turtle power, so Frillish beware as I give Tortuga my approval. Butterfree, hear me out on this one. This Pokemon is way more dangerous than you think. As it flies, it easily loses scales that when inhaled can cause sleep paralysis or poisoning. It doesn't even control when they come off, so just imagine you're petting your sweet butterfly and you suck one of those up and you're gone. They do everything else a butterfly does, even migrating far and wide, but it gets worse. Because when it Gigantamaxes, it puts those scales to use on purpose and can create winds that lift a 10-ton truck. Despite all this, Butterfree is adorable, and I approve as long as it stays very, very far away from me. Magikarp, a Pokemon so weak that even the Pokédex is mean to it. Or that's what it wants you to think. Because I guarantee a Magikarp would make you a bigger meme than Yamcha. It has an immune system that allows it to survive any environment, even space. Yeah, it actually can jump that high, meaning to escape the Earth's gravity, it has to be moving over 25,000 miles per hour. These things weigh 22 pounds, so at that speed, they can hit you with an impact force of 603 giganewtons, which ends up being stronger than the Fat Man Bomb. In other words, Magikarp wouldn't just beat you, Magikarp would hit you so hard your family line would disappear. Don't ever underestimate this fish ever again. Regigigas, or should I say Real, Golems, Titans, Yokai, Demigods, and whatever that thing is, this Pokemon has a lot it's based on. Not only did this Giga Chad tow the continents together with rope, but they also made 5 other known Pokemon from nothing but natural elements and pure energy. Each made from ice, rock, steel, electricity, and dragon energy. Yeah, as long as it's inanimate, Regigigas could turn it into a living Golem Pokemon too. Maybe they can make a friend to marathon all the Pokemon movies with. Due to its ability to survive extreme conditions, control the giants it creates, and immense power, it was sealed away. And don't ruin its beauty sleep because it will get angry. I give Regigigas 2 giant thumbs up as it's an awesome Pokemon. Delisopod, from coward to king! This giant Isopod will do anything to win as it takes advantage of any opening. It has a shell harder than diamond and claws that can cleave air in two. To explain, knives push air apart, but with claws so sharp it actually cuts molecules apart. Luckily, most of its time is spent meditating in caves deep beneath the sea. This Pokemon is a Samurai Isopod, you know, just a roly-poly, and I genuinely love them so much. They have complete approval from me. Subscribe and convince me to rate your favorite Pokemon next.